Lily, you want to start?
Well, actually.
Should we-
Oh, you got some? Okay.
Oh, see, Jeff, they're already starting to take over.
Okay.
See?
Listen,
They already-
All right, here we go.
Alright, wait. Gwen, are you ready?
Yeah,
The doors are closed, all right.
yeah, we got
No secrets out.
wait a
All
minute,
right.
we got noise out there.
Okay.
Oh, how is this close? They got the bathroom, something going on.
Sounds like a bathroom.
Yeah, we have to tell them to.
There it goes.
We're locked in.
There we go.
Boom.
You are a captive audience.
We are facing the judges.
The
Look at me as a judge.
Oh, please, Jeff, did you hear what they just said about us?
I'm just asking questions like when, and
Okay.
that's all we're
Not a
doing.
judge.
You guys are the celebrities.
I know, you are the honoree.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't tell me
We're
about
the peons in our We are the peanut gallery.
We can argue back, right? We don't have to be quiet.
We are the
can-
peanut gallery.
You're just gonna have to remember,
Okay.
Dad, can
Alright,
you move your
so-
chair this way more, please?
Okay, ready,
Yeah,
set.
we're around the corner.
Yeah, come around. Can we just scoot down a little bit?
This way. This way you get in the
Get
picture
closer.
too.
Whoa, you come this way. You want us to come this way?
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
You have room?
You got enough room?
Yeah.
Really?
I got it. I'm all right. Yeah,
No,
okay.
good, so Uncle Jimmy can get in
Got
there.
room.
Okay, since
so.
we're videotaping, should we make the table look a little cleaner or what?
Yeah, no, this one is.
Good.
Is it natural? Okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay, so we're gonna start when I clap,
Okay. Is this on?
okay?
It's been on since we came in.
Oh my goodness.
Don't ask questions.
Tip for the moderator. Don't touch the equipment.
Yes,
That's not your job.
Right,
dear. Yes, dear.
right.
Alright, so the reason I clap is when if somebody wants to edit this further, they can take the audio from here and put it to the video. So this is a sound that they can sync it, okay? So all set?
The hair's all done already.
Everybody good?
Hang on,
Everybody comfortable?
hang on.
Lizzie, okay. Then that we should be, so then we'll go on.
What?
Hang on, I'm going to,
Are you comfortable, Mark? Are you
Yes.
close enough to the table?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be close. Everybody has to smile. This is fun.
That's what Mom was doing yesterday for photography.
This morning, I want to welcome everyone to the Lee Wing Legacy Interview. The main objective of this gathering is to document our valuable historical family information for both the current and future Lee Wing generations. Questions have been submitted by many of the grandchildren, and answers to the questions will be answered by the 4 surviving children of Lee Wing and Yi Shi and their son-in-law, Jimmy Wong. I am Jeff Wong, and my co-moderator this morning is Gwen Louie Levine. We are both grandchildren of Lee Wing and Yi Shi. With us, we have Rose Wing Alloway, Lily Wing Louie, Florence Wing Dissenbury, William Wing, and Jimmy Wong, husband to the late Helen Wing, sorry. Before we begin, I'd like to review some early history about our grandparents, early beginnings, and coming to America. This information is being shared by our cousin Carol Wing Lewis, daughter of the late Harding Wing. Our grandfather was born September 1st, 1984, in the Lung Hong Village, Toishan section.
Mommy.
This is big, 1984 doesn't make sense.
It's 1894.
Sorry. Good correction. 1894.
Thank you.
In the Lung Hing Lung Hong Village, Toi Shan Section, Kwang Tung District. Grandpa's first entry to the U.S. was April 24th, 1908, aboard the ship SS China. Grandpa returned to China September 26, 1914, to marry our grandmother, Yi Shi. Grandpa returned back to the U.S. through San Francisco on June 21st, 1915, on the ship SS Korea. He lived in San Rafael and worked as a housekeeper for the Studebakers' granddaughter's family. Grandma,
It's Johnson family, Studebaker family, that's Johnson's. Their name was Johnson, the family,
but the
but
Studebaker.
it was the
Right.
Studebaker family.
Right.
Okay. Grandma first came to the U.S. in July 1918. She was 23 years old.
I thought she was 22.
I don't know. Give or take. In 1920, our grandparents moved to Boston, where Grandpa worked as a cook at a Chinese restaurant in Beverly, Massachusetts. In 1924, the family moved to New York, and Grandpa worked as a cook at a Chinese restaurant on Delancey Street. And from there, we'll go on and start asking the questions by the grandchildren. Gwen, why don't you start it off?
Good. Okay, first question, it's really easy. What was the best advice that your mom and dad gave you?
To be honest, and we had to take care of each other as we grew up. And we all worked in the restaurant.
You know, it's
As soon as we
get
could
a good
walk.
education, study hard, and this way you want to make money, you know, mom and papa would say.
Dad
Get
told
the
me.
education.
Go ahead.
Yes.
No, Dad told me when I got married, that regardless whether you're married or not and you're working, always make sure you keep your own bank account. If anything ever happens, you have something to fall back on. And I believed in that. Tell me.
Good, good. To this day.
Very good advice.
Very good, great advice.
Uncle Willie, did he give you any advice?
Yeah, you know,
Get out of the pool.
I'm not saying I was a goody goody, you know.
I don't think any of us were really.
Really, you know.
He
I
had it a little
remember-
easy.
Well, like,
But every Sunday morning, Mama made sure that we got up to go to church.
Church, and
We
we
went
went
to
to
Leverage
Leverage
Memorial
Memorial
Church.
was the same way.
Yes,
Hardy was the same way.
right. She'd go, you know, from the restaurant and she'd go to bed late in the morning, but she woke up every morning to make sure that we got up to go to church.
Before school?
Church.
Church on
On
Sunday. On
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, just on
Sundays.
Sunday.
Right,
On
on
Sunday.
And you
Sunday.
walked to church?
Yes, we didn't have a car.
Okay.
And I used to walk with my mother to the airport after church. She always wanted to go down by LaGuardia Airport. So
That was another question that was on the list,
Oh.
as far as, did you own a car?
Not at that time,
Grandpa never drove.
no.
no.
Who was the first to drive?
I think Grant.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He had an old Dodge.
Wow,
And who taught him how to drive?
school.
I don't know who really taught him how to drive.
Who?
You.
No, and then after that, and when I got a car when a 1951 Ford Fiat, and I was the second one to get the car, because I was working then,
Wow, in 1951.
you know, 1950 I was working at the bank, so that was my first car. It was a green car, and I was able to take Mama and Papa home from the restaurant when they moved, when we bought a house. They bought a house in 1946. We moved into that house. We didn't even know know about the house. Everything was furnished and everything. I don't know how they did that. I think Harding took care of everything, getting the house and whatnot. And June 12th, 1946, they took us, we walked up to the house, and it was all furnished. It was a beautiful house.
That's Grant's birthday, June.
Yeah.
And where was this house located?
In East Elmhurst.
Right.
The address 106-15 31st Avenue.
But Rosie, I remember they hired a truck.
I don't remember that.
I do. I remember they hired a truck and they, all the furnishings that we had at the restaurant, they delivered. And they put it on that truck and delivered it to the house in East Elmhurst. I remember that.
Yeah, I understand that Uncle Harding helped finance the house
Right,
Yeah.
when he was in service.
yes.
Because Uncle Harding was the oldest, and he took care of mostly everything.
Right.
So I didn't know how they went about looking for the house or anything. We
And
didn't
how old
know.
was Uncle Harding this time?
I really couldn't tell you.
Just what a nice surprise. So you all just came to see this new house that we're just moving into. That's wonderful.
I don't even know.
No, I
Okay.
remember the truck that they put the furniture together.
That I don't remember or recall. All I know is the furniture was in there when we went.
Okay, let's move on to another question. I'll ask this one. When your parents weren't working or raising all of you, how did they spend their time? What hobbies, outside interests?
I don't
Mommy
think,
moved home.
I would tell you that I was the child at the time, and there were times when we had cousins after lunch hour at the restaurant. We had cousins that came to the restaurant to, more like to have a friendly chat with my dad. I remember that time. I don't remember the year. It could be in the late, mid-30s.
Okay,
So, and also remember that Mama would walk to that the laundry store, we'd walk with her.
on 37th Avenue.
Yeah, I
And,
remember we did that.
so you really never did any vacations
No,
or
no.
anything like that? Okay, well, that leads to another good question. Cousins. Who are the cousins?
Well, the
Lily
Chang,